On January 22nd, 1973, the Supreme Court of the United States, in their Roe versus Wade decision, declared that women had a constitutional right for abortion on demand. And ever since then, churches across the United States of America have fought and resisted this evil of abortion in our culture. And we can be honest here and admit that our own Southern Baptist Convention was really slow to enter the fight. And some of our friends in the Roman Catholic Church and other denominations were actually much quicker to respond to the advent of abortion on demand in our culture. But over time, we began to search the scriptures and we began to see how wicked this was, how vile this was. And as a result, in the 80s, many churches began celebrating, or not really celebrating, but setting apart a Sunday in January as Sanctity of Human Life Sunday. Well, that'll be this Sunday at Pocosin Baptist Church. And one of the things that I've tried to do as your pastor is to be very careful to make sure that by addressing this issue of abortion, we don't give the image that therefore, because we care about this traditionally conservative Republican issue, that we are therefore a right-wing church. Therefore, in other words, to be a Christian is to be a Republican. So I believe very firmly that the church is called to be separate from both right and left-wing politics so that we can, by God's grace, speak against the evils of both and commend the good in both where we see it. So beginning last year, this time, I preached a sermon for Sanctity of Human Life Sunday in keeping with the tradition of Pocosin Baptist Church. But the following Sunday, I wanted to tackle another issue that's equally heinous in God's eyes, but yet it often is at least viewed as an issue that is not something the right cares about, but it's more important to the left, and that's the issue of racism. And so last year in January, I preached a sermon on the gospel and racism. This year, I want to do the same thing. So this Sunday, we'll be talking about sanctity of human life and the issue of abortion. Next Sunday, January the 28th, with God's help, we'll be talking about the issue of racism. But I want to do more than just talk about these two issues, because I think it's really easy for us as Christians to think that these are disconnected issues on ideological extremes. So what I want to say to you is that the issues of abortion and racism, they're not disconnected political enemies. They're actually demonic twins. Abortion and racism are actually connected issues because they're both rooted. The way we respond to them is both rooted in what the Bible tells us about the image of God. That all humans, from womb to the tomb, all humans, regardless of skin color, regardless of race or ethnicity or nationality, regardless of disability, all human beings from the moment of conception to the moment of natural death are made in the image of God and therefore worthy, have equal worth, value, dignity, and purpose. So this Sunday at Pocosin Baptist Church, we're going to get started, and I want to show you the connection between these two issues, and we're going to get started in Exodus chapter 1, and I hope to show you the racist roots of abortion. So if you want to prepare, you can read Exodus chapter 1. You may be familiar with the story. But really, I just want to share my heart with you. My desire is that if you're one of those Christians that's really passionate about the abortion issue, you shudder at the idea of abortion, but you shrug off the idea of racism. I hope that by connecting these two issues, you will be just as appalled by the one as you are by the other. On the other hand, if you're someone as a Christian who, man, you're serious about racism and you're absolutely appalled by it, but you're apathetic towards the sanctity of human life, you're apathetic towards the evils of abortion, I hope that these two sermons over the next 2 weeks, God would use them to help you to be mortified by both the evils of racism and abortion. So these will be perhaps for some of you some difficult topics for us to tackle over the next 2 weeks. But by God's grace, we're going to do it together. We're going to do it in love. We're going to do it with joy. And we're going to do it for the glory of Christ and for his glory alone. See you this Sunday at Pocosa Baptist.